But yeah, no, I followed Dennis Sperling. Like, he posts some funny stuff. Like, especially it was a thing he did on Facebook. Then I shared it with the guy, like, making fun of the chick who was mad at the baby daddy for the McDonald's or whatever. And it was a guy like sitting there on the patio with his kid vibing like with the McDonald's while everyone else inside looking bad and shit.
I mean, now apparently she came, I guess she did a video or something trying to like justify it. Yeah. But then now everybody's saying, oh, it was a skit. But I'm like, even if it was a skit, it
still brought out the issues, and Anti-Simp was like, so what? You still gonna get skewered
because that's part of coming with fame. You can't just do stuff to get famous and then get mad.
If I do some fake stuff on my video that people hate, I'm still gonna get.
You're gonna get the fame.
I'm still gonna get flamed for it, regardless.
Right.
Because one, people don't know reality from fiction too well, and even when they do.
But even if she said, oh, it was fake, but that's it. The fact that it was done and you had people who co-signed it, like, yeah, shows you that stuff like that happens in real life.
Yeah.
So nah, and God forbid if I ever have a baby mother and she tries some shit like that, fuck your kids. My kid gonna eat. Fuck your kids though. Right. And even if it was fake, he was
even reasonable. He was like, hey, if it was just one or two other kids, he's like, yeah, I wouldn't mind being them McDonald's. He said, but you got 3 other kids.
Right, where their daddies at?
Now she's right for saying, look, you knew I had 3 other children when you dated me, and you still coming over here trying to get some every once in a while. So I'll give her that. But that falls on him for being stupid, because I wouldn't be fucking a chick that got kids. So
but even if we say they dated and she had kids, so the fuck what? Like, him dating you because you got children does not mean he has to feed your children.
And how are you on food stamps and you got like $1,000 worth of like hair care done, like brows done, lashes done, weave. And I was explaining to the girl in the video, so guys, look out, I'm gonna be posting a video with a friend overseas named Marie from her channel Glam Lux. We did like a little collaboration. I'm gonna do some more in the future, but I talked to her about the SYSBM and what it stood for and why black guys are traveling overseas. And this chick with the McDonald's thing is a perfect example why we are abandoning them. Because like I was telling her, I was like, the amount she's paid on that hair care alone was like what, like thousands of dollars maybe. Like, cause it was you who told me how much lashes and stuff.
Man, do you be surprised, bro?
Just to look like she got caterpillars above her eyes.
I low-key as a man thought about doing it because
it pays that much,
bro. I seen women charging $150, $200 to do eyelashes. I'm like, wait, shit, women pay that? It's like, yeah,
that's a legal consultation,
right? And I'm like, wait, and I calculated it. Like, one chick I knew, she was like, if I do 3 to 5 people a day, let's just say she charges $100 on the low end, right? You do 3 lashes a day, 3 people a day, $100 a piece. That's $300 a day. 5 days. Let's take out the weekends. Let's say 5 days a week, right? That's $1,500 a week. 4 weeks, that's $6,000 a month.
And like I said, it wasn't.
And you're not doing that much work. Like, and from what I've been told, it doesn't take that long really to do the lashes. So
they just basically like glue it on, right?
I mean, they do. I was like, I don't know the whole process, but
the brows are separate, so that's a whole different.
No, I mean, I think they're separate. I don't know, but all I know is on the low end, from what she told me, that shit costs around average. They're charging $150 to $200. So I'm like, even if you're doing on the upwards of $200. 3 people a day, that's $600. You're making $600 a day. You're not even doing 8 hours worth of work. But the thing is, and the problem with, I'm not saying it's a problem, but I think the issue that comes around with that is that most women, it doesn't matter because all women are going to try to flood that market to do it now. Yeah. Because I ain't got to work, because everybody wants a fast buck and don't have to work hard.
Well, it's just like OnlyFans, like everyone fled to that. Now the people are going back to work. People aren't
not even going back to work. It's so many of y'all. You got to compete with more people, and like I said, you're gonna age out.
Yeah.
And there's always going to be another 21, 18-year-old, a new 18-year-old born made every day.
Like
so.
Bad, what's her name?
Bad Bunny, I think. Something like that.
As soon as she turned 18, she started hers and made like a couple of $1 million
Man,
in one
more
day.
than a couple million.
No, I'm just, yeah.
When you make over 50 $million,
it was that much. I thought it was like 15.
No, bro, she was almost. It was over $50 million. I think in the first 6 hours she was at over 10 million.
And I mean,
I'm not knocking her because it's a bunch of simps doing it, but at the same time, it does speak volumes of our society when that's what most people are going to try to chase now. Nobody wants to do anything that contributes to society because everybody just wants a fast buck. And the problem is, for me anyway, especially when it comes to men keep this shit running. Like, we do the dirty, hard jobs, and then to get shitted on by women who honestly don't make less than you, especially women that make less money than you, only because they have a degree, a useless one at that, to put their nose up like you have to be up here and and all this other stuff. It's kind of sad. Like, an honest, hardworking man deserves, doesn't get shitted on for real. And
only the dumb chicks would shit on a guy who's making more than them but has a blue collar job. Like the smart women, the ones mostly who aren't black. I said it, but yeah, wouldn't shit on some guy while she has a bachelor's degree from Vassar in gender studies. I went to Vassar and I've taken a BA in gender studies, so I am always about what is inclusive and woke. Like, suck a dick. An inclusive dick. But no, I mean, there's a lot of chicks that it would be like, this guy he's all like,
it's not a pretty job.
Like, he's a derrick operator, but he's making like 100-something thousand a year. And he's putting his life at risk working on this oil rig.
And
that's a
he
derrick
doesn't
operator.
have $100,000 worth of student loan debt.
Yeah.
Like,
so like I said, there's smart women out there that recognize that, but it's our community that's
stupid like that.
Yeah.
I agree, and it's crazy because one of my classmates, mind you, I'm in grad school now. One of my classmates, she's a white woman, right? So we were talking and about the Roe v. Wade thing and feminism and all that. And so mind you, she mostly dated black guys. Most of all her dating experience has been black men. And it was funny because I was like, look, and she even said, I had bad experiences dating black men. Like, a lot of them were bad, yeah, but there were some good ones as well. But I don't think all black men are terrible. Because in general, she's like, men, well, she doesn't hate men, but she'll show me like messages she gets on Tinder and stuff.
But it's Tinder.
But wait, not even Tinder, and it's like, I would say this, dudes, y'all gotta do better with some of these pickup lines, bro. Like, some of y'all,
but it's Tinder though. I don't expect
Tinder, not just Tinder.
I'm not getting on her, but I'm getting on everyone who's on Tinder expecting high quality.
No.
Stuff.
I'm saying it's not just Tinder. Even on Instagram and other platforms, she showed me, and I'm like, yo, some of y'all dudes do be wilding though. Like, some of y'all be saying some off the wall shit. And I told you
the younger generations don't have game because they didn't grow up in a time where you had to spit.
Bro, it'd be some off the wall shit.
We had
and I'm just like, bro.
My generation, we had to actually spit game, so it's like you couldn't just say any off the wall shit and expect to get some ass.
But mine is that,
unless you were giving us some Reebok classics, but that's a whole different story.
But mine is that, we had a good conversation. And we talked about, feminism, and she was, we talked about particularly black feminists, and I told her, about the things I see on my side, about how you have some black women who are basically telling other black women that black men are going to start killing us because they don't want to pay child support. And I'm like, what?
Nowadays, I see child support as the stupid tax.
It is, and but the crazy thing is, honestly, even it just doesn't make, like, literally. So it's a I forgot the name of the page. It's on YouTube though. So this black woman was like, She said she gets sexually aroused seeing black men getting beat up by the police.
I told you that goes into that whole thing I was talking about, the what they call themselves, those black women.
Divestors.
Yeah, the divestors. That's who they are.
But and that's crazy. And it's crazy because usually when we hear and like the black people always want to talk about when black men are getting radicalized and I'm like, black men aren't going around saying, yo, you know what turns me on? Domestic violence. If you like beating a bitch up just gets me off. Like black men don't go around. We don't have forums or going around saying no shit like that.
Not publicly.
And if we do, if there are black men who feel that way, they won't openly say that.
Because you would get canceled in a microsecond.
Right. Black men won't even tolerate other black men saying that. But the fact that you have black women openly openly stating, yeah, when that white cop shoots that hard R.
So yeah, I told you, you didn't believe me at first, and now you saw it for yourself.
It gets me wet. I'm like, what? Like, bro, what is wrong? And
I told you that crowd existed.
And it's crazy. And you know what? And I also
I'm saying I was right about it, but
no. I heard of the divestors, but I didn't know they went that far.
Yeah, I was saying, and that's why I was saying they go that far, and that's why Dennis Brown was like, look, he said these idiots are posting this shit openly. He said law enforcement is looking at that shit, like,
and they are. And the crazy, and I also, mind you, my classmate is white, and we talk, and we had these conversations, and we were talking. I'm like, look, it's worse because you have academia co-signing this, and she was like, what you mean? I'm like, when you have like PhDs and JDs and stuff who are co-opting this message, that's where the problem comes in. And I told her, give an example. I forgot the lady's name. She was doing an interview with some white woman, and this was during when Trump was running for office. And she asked the black woman, I forgot her name. She has a doctorate or something, but she's like one of the heads of black feminists or whatever, like one of the main faces. And she asked her, what if Trump did something like My Brother's Keeper for white men? And the black woman.
Y'all want to see Baltimore?
He's down.
Oh, never mind.
When you come back, I'll let you know. But like, she asked her, and the black woman just basically went on this whole rant about how doing anything positive for black men or boys is somehow taken away from black women and girls. It's like somehow putting them at a disadvantage, and it's the patriarchy and all this. So, and mind you, my friend is, my classmate's white. We're friends too. She's white. She's a white girl. She grew up in like a fucking like hardcore Republican like family. She's not like that, but we talked, and she's like, yeah, the patriarchy, yeah, it's bad, and it is messed up, but and she even agreed, white women benefit from it. Like the fact, and it surprised me. I'm like, wow, I never heard a white woman say that white women benefit from the patriarchy.
Well, it's just like my experience when I was in philosophy, and it was a white woman who defeated feminism for me. Like she was one of the doctoral students there at the time, and someone brought up feminism or something, and she was like, yeah, she's like, feminism is incoherent.
It's fine.
And no. And I was like, damn. I was like, a liberal white woman just put down feminism. Like,
it is incoherent. It's very incoherent.
And I was like, she's not wrong. I just didn't realize.
It's unexpected, and I didn't expect her. Well, no.
But that's another reason why I like philosophy people, because they tend to be more rational. So.
And it was wild, and once I told her, black women really saying this, she's like, wow. And she couldn't believe it. She was like, that's some sick shit.
Yeah.
And like I said, when you have academia co-signing it and making arguments like, well, if you do something for black boys, or not even men, but for black boys, anything to benefit black boys is going to take away from the girls, and it's pushing the patriarchy and blah blah blah. And I'm like, honestly, and it after hearing these type of arguments, it made me just like, you know what, maybe. And like I said, I'd still date like black American women.
I don't.
Here and there.
But I'm not bitter. I just wanted to clarify that, because in my video coming up, my friend suggest that I'm bitter. I'm not, because I overall haven't had bad experiences with black women. I'm just not really attracted to them anymore. But as far as the social stuff going on right now, I don't like that stuff, but I didn't have to personally deal with it outside of black female family members who make me dislike black women. But it wasn't dating itself that made me against them.
And like I said, I'm not at a point where I dislike, I hate them. I just don't date women with children.
I never have. I've said that since college. I was like, I got a 0 kid tolerance.
So if most black women in my space tend to have children, especially, I just turned 29, so that acts out, that cancels out a lot of black women. I don't date fat chicks. That also, that eliminates all the BBWs and women with children, so I don't have, so my pickings are kind of slim.
You just knocked out 70% of black females.
I would say
I'm being generous.
No, I was gonna say 85 to 90, but
because I don't want to make up numbers, but I'm saying at least 2/3 of them fit.
I would say 2/3. So yeah, that's fair.
About 2/3 of them fit
that fits that. I mean, yeah, you gotta think 60% have children. Most black women have children, and most are either overweight or obese.
And I was told by my family member that at my over the age of 30, I shouldn't expect to not date someone who doesn't have children. I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, yeah, okay. So I said nothing, grabbed my passport, and let that do my speaking.
Yeah, and that's my point. Once I factor all that in, I'm like, it's slim pickings. But at the same time, I mean, honestly, after hearing these arguments, and it bothers me more because I want to get my doctorate, and I know especially in my field, I'm gonna encounter these arguments about how we need more black women in these spaces. Which, personally,
I just want to engage in the conversation. When I get to the things I want to do, I'm gonna have to engage in the conversation, unfortunately, because of the things I want to do. That's a way you can be in the conversation without actually having a voice in the conversation.
Well, no, because I don't like getting into heady conversations at work with people that I don't. I'm not talking about at work, but I do know that in my field, I'm gonna have to have these conversations, not because I want to, but because the things I want to do is gonna come up, which is fine. I'm open to it, but what it's starting to seem like now is if you don't agree with feminism, your career is over. It looks like now the way to get ahead in careers, to get ahead now, if you bash men, particularly black men, if you just bash black men and say support feminism, your career trajectory is off the charts if you do that, and I'm not gonna do that.
Well, you can say one thing and mean another. So.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna. I mean, to me, it's intellectually disingenuous. If you're gonna ask me,
if I'm not in the intellectual atmosphere, I don't really care what people think.
But that's what I'm saying. I do want to write articles when I get my PhD, when I get my doctorate. I do want to, make some money and present my ideas, because what's the point of having it? I'm not going to use it to do that. To not only push my field forward, black people involved in IT and cybersecurity and stuff like that, because not mine. I don't care about that. It's not even the inclusion thing. It's just a great field, and there's so much you can do in that field that a lot of people just think, oh, if I do IT, I'm going to be doing help desk sitting at a computer. I'm like, no, bro, it's a lot you can do, and you don't got to be a programmer, but it's just a lot to do in this field, and a lot of it is fun, and I know a lot of people want to get into it. They may not know how, and think, oh my God, I gotta go to school for forever, and I'm like, you don't have to, but you don't gotta be a drone like everybody else is doing, where as soon as COVID hit, I'm gonna abandon ship in my field to jump on the IT bandwagon, so whatever the case may be, so I can keep a job or whatever. No, I encourage them, if you're gonna do something, do it because you also make sure you enjoy it. I enjoy working with computers, so I'm gonna stay in my field. Versus some people who just doing it because whatever their reason may be, which is fine, but I want people who like it to have a say in it, because it's nothing worse. as an IT person, having a supervisor who's not technically literate trying to tell you how to do your job.
That's like most jobs.
Exactly, and that's the worst thing you can have. And I don't like it. I hate it. That's one of the things that make my ass itch.
Well, guys, I'm about to go because it's hot as hell, and Baltimore is lighting up because it's about to be July the 4th. So I'll talk with you guys later. Stay tuned for my collaboration with Marie at GlamLux. I think I'm gonna post the whole video, and I might break it up into smaller portions so that people can get it who don't want to watch like 2 hours of people just talking. More than 2 hours, but you get the gist. Like, a lot of people don't have an attention span for that. I know I don't, so I'm gonna break that up into smaller parts for you guys. So stay tuned for that. All right.